Do third world countries manifest their own poverty? Are they bound in a perpetual existence of disease, poverty, distress, to which they cannot, as a society, escape? And should we be concerned with their state of being? I continued on. Like you've stated, you may find wellness in any situation as an individual. So should we thus be concerned for their societies as a whole, or should we be concerned with our own realities and hope that the individual finds his way?
Well, there are a lot of people that don't like this answer, but this is the answer that we always give, and it's the thing that we most want you to understand. So let's say that you are across the world and you're focused upon such a society, or maybe a section of your own society in which people are suffering in some way. And as you give your attention to it, you feel terrible. Well, the reason you feel terrible is because you and others like you, and especially them, have created a vortex version of improvement that they have not yet quite figured out how to live. Because they are still of the world, they are all wrapped up in it, they are often so focused in their own plight that their own plight, what they are observing, is dictating their own energy flow. So they cannot get to their own solutions that they have already created vibrationally. So now, what part do you want to play? As you are a world citizen, someone who cares about all people, someone who wants to uplift, and you're looking at this situation, and your news medias make it easy for you to see intimately some of these things. As you are not involved in it personally, but still involved in it vibrationally because you are giving it your attention, now you can tell by the way you feel whether your attitude, your perspective, your opinion about this right now, this red hot minute, while you're watching and feeling, jives or harmonizes with the source within you. It's our promise to you that the source within you and the source within all of them is not focused upon their plight, because you can't get to where you want to be under those conditions. So when you feel negative emotion as a result of what you're observing, as you feel that worry or concern or fear or even guilt or blame, as you are focused upon their plight, you can tell, if you are wise enough to know what your guidance system is telling you, that you're not in sync with the solution, you are still in sync with the problem, and therefore you are of no value whatsoever. Now, there are many who say, well, Abraham, do you just want us to put our head in the sand? And we say, no, we want you to get your head out of the sand and in vibrational alignment with their solution or with any solution, and you find that by reaching for your own clarity and your own alignment and your own joy. Well, then some might say to you, well, how can you be joyful when they are suffering? And we say, you can't suffer enough to help somebody who's suffering be well. You cannot get poor enough to help poor people thrive. You cannot get sick enough to help sick people get well. Law of attraction is the opposite of that. You've got to, and maybe you might be the only one, and only one is enough, you might be the only one who's focused from this time-space reality upon their solution. And you can tell that you are focused upon their solution because you are feeling elation at the prospect of the recovery that they are finding, you see. And so you send a stream that might make it easier for them to find. There's just no other way around it. We're not saying don't go help. What we're saying is find alignment and then. Find alignment and then. Find alignment and then you'll be inspired. Find alignment and then you'll get an idea about an invention. Find alignment and then you'll be in the right place at the right time where you can offer some influence that could make a real difference to someone. But you cannot wallow in their discord and find any advantage for them. Jerry, when he was a teenager, was a lifeguard in New Orleans on Lake Pontchartrain. And his instructor said to him, Jerry, sometime you may be in a situation where you will have to let someone drown. And Jerry said, I could never do that. Could never do that. What's the point of being a lifeguard if you let someone drown? And the lifeguard instructor said to him, sometimes there will be someone in such a panic, they will overpower you. And if they drowned you, then they too will drown, and you will not be there for anyone else after that. And it's sort of like that. If you don't do what you can do to keep yourself in alignment, you have nothing of value to give anyone anyway, you see. And one who's connected to the stream and focused upon something is more powerful than millions who are not. You do not understand the power of your focus and the value of your sincere interest in what's going on with people. But you want to be sure that Other than in the beginning, when you're first getting to know them and figuring out what it is that would be of value to them, you've got to focus upon the solution, not the problem. Because the vibration of the solution and the vibration of the problem are worlds apart. And the vibration of the solution is where your inner being is. And if you don't focus upon the solution with your inner being, then when you focus, you've got puny, paltry, little offering of vibration. You don't help at all. And then you go and you suffer and you sacrifice and you muck around in the mud with them, and sometimes you feel more virtuous for doing it, but nothing good ever comes from that. Get in your power and then use your power. Yeah.
So when we get connected to Source, Abraham, I know whenever Esther got connected to Source, you were able to work through her. So when we get connected to Source, each one of us, we will have our own.
Not when, since, because you all are to varying degrees for varying length of times. Every one of you is an extension of source energy, and every one of you has these moments of alignment. When you first wake up in the morning, that's your greatest opportunity, because the momentum is at its slowest, to focus in a way that you come into alignment with who you are. But don't make work of this. Don't make hard rituals of this. Just take away from this conversation these few ideas. You are pure positive energy. You are good beyond anyone's description to even define you. Life is supposed to be good for you, and you have source energy flowing to you and through you. Just try a little bit to hear it. Just try a little bit to hear it, which means get as happy as you can get from where you are. You're not going to jump from depression all the way into happiness. You're just not. Law of attraction won't let you. But if you reach for the best feeling thought that you can find, and then the best, and then the best, you will gradually sort of wean yourself from those habits of thought that aren't serving you, and you will discover more and more thoughts that are, until you have a more consistent feeling of well-being, until you will wake up in the morning and you will lie in your bed and you will think, oh man, here I go again. Another magnificent opportunity to be here and have experiences here in this extremely focused, extremely important, extremely potential for happiness environment. This is the leading edge of thought, and creators want to be on the leading edge. You don't want to regurgitate the old stuff. Do you ever try to show your old technology to your kids? Oh, I'd like to show you what I used when I was a kid. They just want to laugh and run screaming into the woods. They don't want to learn what you were doing. They don't even want what is. They want the new technology now. Apple knows that. And you do too. You want the newest. You want the newest leading edge, because nothing else will do. You don't want to be where thoughts have been. You want to be where thoughts are going. You don't want to be what's old news. You want to be what's new news. And do you know that everything that is manifested, everything that is manifested is old news. If it's manifested, it's old news, because the new stuff's out here in the new vibration. And that's where you want to be. That's where you have to be as a creator, you see. So you're not ever going to be happy unless you're going with the flow of your own ideas. And the satisfaction, the reward, the bonus of that, the bonus of being zen enough, being chilled enough, being kind enough to yourself enough, being relaxed enough that you can actually receive an idea that, as far as you can think, you've never had before in all of your life, and neither has anyone else. Here's this new idea, life-giving. Esther was standing in a balcony of a new home that she has, overlooking and thinking, and got an idea, and she was panting with excitement. Panting with excitement, and someone else in the room said, "Are you okay?" Esther said, "I'm just really excited about something." She was panting with excitement. And then she went outside in that frame of mind, and the men who were putting some heat tape on the roof, it's a very big, tall roof, they were in a cherry picker, way, way, way up high. And Esther said, "Can I ride in that?" And they said, "Really?" And Esther said, "Yeah, can I get in?" And they said, "Yes." Took them a little while because they had to sort of move it back. They're guiding it from in the basket, and they were 80 feet up. And so they maneuvered it, and it was kind of wrapped around a chimney, and they brought it back around and straightened it up and brought it down and straightened it up and brought it down, straightened it up and brought it down, and laid it basket right down on the ground. And Esther just stepped in with them, and then up, 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 up they went. Esther could see everything. She could see the top of her own roof. She could look down into her chimney. She could see across the way. She could see every neighbor. She could see out into the distance. She could see the lake and the sky. She could see things that she had not ever seen before. Well, it was no coincidence that her panting alignment with source energy would lead to the next logical step of getting a real life manifestation that matched that feeling. You see what we're getting at? Life can deliver to you anything that you have the ability to feel. If you can trust that your vortex is there and that we're feeling it, we know what you asked for, and we know every amendment that you made to it, and we know how sweet your life is supposed to be in real life, what you call manifestational form, because we've seen the vortex version of it. And when you start trusting that the vortex version is a reality, vibrational reality, we know you say, how do I get it out of the vibrational vortex and into the bank, Abraham? Well, this is how. This is how. You trust that it's there, you know that it's there, and you reach for the feeling of it, and you feel the inspiration of it, and you follow the impulse when it comes, which is the next thing that we really want to say to you, because you're right there so often. When an impulse comes, don't procrastinate it. When the impulse comes, it means it's ripe for this moment. When the impulse comes, act on it. Write the note, make the phone call, go there, do there, whatever that impulse is, follow through with it with action, because that's your guidance system saying, coast is clear, go for it. Go for it. Go find the pleasure of this moment that is all queued up for you, by you, and with us. That's how we feel about your life experience. Humans do not often start with the premise that well-being is the basis of your life experience. You've already sort of heard from others who have forgotten that. And so it's easy for humans to start with the premise that things are going to go wrong unless I wrestle them to the ground and kill them, when the reality of it's the other way. Things are going to go well unless you do that thing that you do that blocks it off. And yes, there's non-physical intention. Sometimes you come with intentions of what others want to call diversity because you see it as your opportunity for clarity and strength. It's something that you want in this physical life experience. That's why it's so important that you mind your own business and not try to figure out what everybody or anybody else is doing about that.
So then in a sense where they say the diabetes, heart disease is predetermined, like genetically, you don't have to accept that?
Not only do you not have to accept that, it's foolishness to accept that. We are not wanting to discourage you about the state of your medicine, especially in your environment, but they are still practicing it. The human body is such a mystery, and it's because they have not yet hit upon the vibrational component that is everything, you see. They're starting to dabble in it a little bit. They know that the optimistic patient often overcomes while the pessimistic one does not. But you have to factor everything in. You don't know whether somebody's ready to make their transition. You don't know if it's their path of least resistance. And so they're just collecting data and then trying to connect the dots in between. And what we're wanting you to hear is that your life causes you to ask for what you want. And if you line up, you will get what you want. No exceptions every single time. No exceptions every single time. No exceptions every single time. There is nothing that has been pre-decided for you or even by you that could trump what you are now deciding from where you now are. People say, well, isn't it my path? Don't I have a destiny? Isn't there predestiny? Isn't there something that's already been decided? Yeah, you decided to come here and be the deliberate creator of your own experience. You came here to mix it up and to choose and decide and define. You came here to launch rockets, and you came here to use your guidance, and you came here to use the benefit of source energy, to come into alignment with anything and everything that you want. You came here to be the manifester, the full realizer of anything that your mind could conceive. Napoleon Hill said it. If the mind of man can conceive it, then this time-space reality has the ability to give it to you in full achievement. We use different words, but that was basically what he said. If you can want it, you can have it. But there's a piece that has to go in there. You have to want it and believe it. And a lot of times you have developed beliefs before you even knew about beliefs, before you even knew about vibration. And so now you have some thinking to do. Now you have some thinking and feeling to do. Now you have some restructuring of your thoughts to do. But don't try to think thoughts, because law of attraction is delivering your thoughts. Instead, care about how you feel. Let the way that you want to feel be what inspires the next thought that comes. I want to feel sure. I want to feel empowered. I want to know my value. I want to feel good. I want to feel happy. I want to feel flexible. I want to feel alignment. I want to feel good. I want to be of value, but I want to feel good. I want to tune into the energy that is really who I am. I want to be an extension of source energy. I want to do my human part of sifting through the data, and I want to launch those rockets of desire, and then I want to ride that rocket with my source to the full manifested fruition that we all revel in. I love being here out on this leading edge of thought where things manifest.